Welcome to the NerdBrand Podcast. I'm your host, Jace Davis. I'm here with our Chief Creative Officer, but he's a big deal. Let's do that. His name's Mitch Gregory. We have Jonathan Payne, who I swear your head's not moving and shaking. It's just, it's me. I just need a nap.
It could be you.
Yeah, it could be just
It's okay.
me. And he's our CXO, and we have with us our guest, Savannah Cherry from Slingshot.
Hi.
So, why do we buy branded things? Does Dr. Pepper really need our money? That's the opening question. That's how we're going to start this
T-shirts.
off. Yeah.
I'm assuming they do need our money in the long run, but I'm assuming, you mean with like branded things, correct?
Yeah, because a while back, it's all about brand fandom is what this is about. Mm-hmm. And a while back, Savannah, you and I talked, and we have a fandom of a particular other YouTube channel, Good Mythical Morning. And you've got a medallion.
Oh yeah, I've got the 1,000-year episode medallion. I've got the 2,000 episode medallion, and I've got every mug. So
wow,
you could
How many mugs?
Oh, too
you're
many.
eat up.
First off, I meet up. Second, I also collect mugs, so I've got over 100. So that's a whole nother story. But I just really enjoy what they do. It's really crazy the kind of experience where they started to where they are now, and like you said, like the branded materials. I don't need a mug from them, but every time I use the mug, I think of the experience and everything around it.
Yep.
So for our audience, by now you've probably heard her name, of course, and you can see her if you're watching this on YouTube. But go ahead and introduce yourself.
Oh God.
And plug what you want to plug, and
The floor is
The floor is mine. Okay. Well, hi everybody. My name is Savannah Cherry, and I am the Director of Marketing and New Business at Slingshot. And we do custom software and app development, and I get to do a lot of fun things like plan bingo nights and and record people fighting over if Android or Apple is better. So we get to have a good
That'll
time.
never be settled.
Nope.
No. That's kind of like our interior war of DC and Marvel.
DC versus Marvel, yeah.
Yeah.
And we all know who's best.
Uh-oh.
Not really discussion.
It depends on the medium. Anyway, Savannah. So brand fandom is more than just a group of loyal customers or people who are emotionally and financially invested in a particular brand. So we've already heard that you've done 100 coffee. That's impressive.
Thank you.
Yeah, and with Good Mythical Morning, and you love that. Anybody else got one they want to share that they're a fan of?
I'm also a fan of game theory. I will say that. That is a video game analysis YouTuber. And basically he just goes through and breaks down either the lore of a video game or kind of like the science behind it.
That sounds cool.
It's a lot of fun.
Surprised I haven't watched it.
The one I've been kind of binge watching the Minecraft ones that he's done, and like the very first one I think he did was like how much is diamond armor worth in Minecraft, and so that was a lot of math. He also breaks down why Link might actually be dead in Majora's Mask and how that works. And so he does. It's very interesting. And then of course I have a mug from him as well.
Are you a gamer?
Yes. Actually, my husband, I got married last April.
Congrats.
And thank you. It was a good time.
I hope so. If you were
Good to
like,
know.
it was terrible. Fine. It was fine.
We don't talk about it.
I got married and it happened. So.
But for our wedding, when we got back from our honeymoon, on my desk was a gaming PC. And so that's what my husband got me as my wedding gift. So
you're hardcore.
yeah, I say if you've ever been on a Zoom call with me, or if you watch any of our videos where I'm recording from home, you can see the gaming PC with Grogu is inside the PC, as well as my award from Slingshot for doing the most tasks before they were ever assigned.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, I remember when talking with you, like there's the glow.
It's like if you just look off, if you don't focus directly, there's like all of these like rainbow lights on the side.
Yeah.
So it might be a little distracting.
Wow.
Yeah.
So let me ask you,
cool.
since we're talking about brand fandom, I don't know if this has as much to do with brand as it does format, but for the sake of argument. So you're obviously a PC gamer.
Yes.
Do you console game at all?
So I also have a Switch. Yeah.
Got one for Christmas.
Ooh, they're I love that because video games for me growing up were something that we talked about it before the episode started, but I used to cheer at U of L. I cheered my whole life. And so video games was something that a lot of people around me either thought was weird, annoying, or stupid. And so
I can't see a lot of gamers in the cheerleading universe.
So
Don't pigeonhole people.
I had a lot of like portable DS Game Boy games because those could be played by yourself and you could take them wherever on long trips for cheerleading competitions or like before practice. So with the Switch, it's very similar where I can take it and I can play with it wherever, or I can hook it up at home. So it makes it, especially the Nintendo games also bring back a lot of nostalgia for me for that kind of beginning of my life of the video games.
I'll be honest, I quit playing video games probably several years ago, not because I'm like, oh, it's a child's game. No, it's not that. That's not for that reason. But I still have my GameCube.
We have two at my house.
But I also have the controller, the Wavebird, which is kind of y'all didn't probably know it, but it's a very scary, for listeners that may not. It's a very scary controller. Like you can stand on the other side of a wall and still control the the character.
I don't know what science went into that thing.
I don't know either. Like I can't even get my remote to work and line up in certain ways and other technologies that you think are very simple, but this thing will just operate during, it's like, I don't know.
It's like the end of the world and we're still like in the bunker being able to play.
And all the roaches that survive the apocalypse will have their Wavebirds.
Because they're made of the same material.
I'm standing in Kentucky and Putin's in his Kremlin going like, what's happening with my character? Why can't I make a left turn?
Why did Jason just take over?
Yeah.
So was the Wavebird one of the first wireless controllers, or had PlayStation already done that before?
I think it's probably one of the best known because of the fact that you can operate it through a 4-foot nuclear impenetrable wall. But you're probably right about the first one being not that platform, but from others.
I'm just wondering it because I get it. The timelines blur.
Right.
There's been so many consoles now, just over the last 10, 15 years, let alone, since the first Nintendo came out. But at any rate.
Yeah. I'm kind of just shocked that they haven't, maybe they have, because I've been out of it for a while since the GameCube, because like I said, that's the last console I had.
Best formatted, I still say the best formatted, most comfortable controller I've ever played.
Right, because I play PC, so I do mouse and keyboard, and I cannot feel comfortable holding a PlayStation controller or an Xbox controller. No, I think it's because GameCube was one of the first controller consoles I ever had.
To me, the Xbox controller is like holding a dinner plate.
I like it.
It's like trying to hold.
It's my favorite
my
controller.
tiny hands.
It's like I can't. Anyway, I will say I do like the format of the PlayStation controller, but my heart will always belong to the GameCube controller.
Yeah. So my fandom, obviously, and I think yours a little bit too, is Nintendo. I mean, the characters. I played Mario, Zelda. Those were my two staples that I went to all the time, and I always loved Zelda because of puzzles and figuring stuff out. I wasn't that good at it, which is why I bought the cheat guide later. That's as thick as a Bible, but.
I've been known to have my phone to my side looking.
Oh, Google is your friend whenever I'm playing video games.
I'm stuck, and I'm sorry.
How do I make a Ender portal again?
I have a life to live. I got to get through this.
I can't spend 10 hours trying to figure out the water temple puzzles again.
Exactly.
Yeah. Here's a question. What
get back to business.
Yeah. What digital marketing channels will work best for brands to sell their swag? I always called it swag because it was just like,
merch, swag.
Merch, yeah.
It's all the same stuff.
Yeah.
I think it depends on the audience.
Yep.
I mean, like for Slingshot, for example, our biggest is LinkedIn because we're a B2B company. So obviously that's where our people sit. But if you've got, if teenagers, young adults are your target audience, TikTok is the newest place to be. And I was wondering if you guys were going to roll your eyes when I said TikTok.
Well, I mean, it is what it is.
I mean, I just keep thinking, when I hear TikTok, I still think of Vine.
It feels the same.
Yeah.
Everyone I think first got on it at the beginning of quarantine and was like, I'm getting on it for a joke, and now it's taking over my life.
Yeah. I always watch the Viner or whatever you want to call him, the guy that I watch, it's story time. And he'd walk up to people on the street and they just had no idea what he was doing, but then they'd laugh once he got into it because they're like, oh my God.
Right.
What was his name? I follow him on TikTok and YouTube too.
Yeah.
So it stays with you.
Yeah, I haven't engaged or gotten involved with TikTok on my device and everything. I mean, honestly, since I got the new iPhone, I was like, you want to install Facebook? I'm like, no, I'm kind of not missing it right now. I'm just going to leave that one off.
Apparently, a lot of people are saying that.
It's almost a necessary.
It's
It's
meta.
Meta, yes.
Right.
Yeah, that's a whole nother podcast about the metaverse.
No, we talk about it quite a bit because that was just a funny one. But yeah, I mean, we've talked about, we've got sunglasses. We've talked about making swag for us, and people have had interest in it. And it's kind of like,
but we have the slingy stuffed animals for those within our circle.
yeah, I remember when it was just pens and coffee cups, and now it's broadened out to much more just
headphones and bowls and chairs and
Oh.
everything you can imagine.
Soon we'll be selling sheets for your bed. And
yeah. We'll have to make sure that if you get the cheap sheets and they fall apart in one wash, you don't want to continue to do that.
Here comes the glasses.
Oh,
Yeah, here comes
Speaking
the
a
of
glass.
prop
swag.
delivery.
Yeah. Well, when he walked in, I was like,
Oh no, he said,
Which digital
"Don't
marketing
look at
channels?
him." Ooh.
yeah.
Which digital marketing channel was that? That was quick delivery.
I'll take
Digital as in digits as in fingers.
That was a drop throw.
Awesome.
That's called
Awesome.
That's
Those
called
belong
drop
to you
throw.
now.
Is this modeling? Is
Yeah,
this-
I was gonna say, where's
there
it?
you
Where's
go.
it?
my, my childhood modeling career is back.
Where's that? Where's that photographer?
Yeah. Camera number
Yeah,
3.
Ooh, I'll keep it in shot. NerdBrand.com. NerdBrand.com.
NerdBrand Agency.
NerdBrandAgency.com.
NerdBrandAgency.com. Oh gosh,
Yeah.
I'm fired, guys.
No.
Get the hell out.
We'd love to have NerdBrand.com, but
A little expensive.
I mean, we're Slingshot.com for probably the same reason.
Yeah. Well, people Google, that's another topic. We've covered that before about branded search, how they just kind of remember the company name and the person that was the rep. They're not going to actually type out the entire domain. Maybe.
does anybody do that anymore?
I don't know. I'm surprised when I drive
with
down
all-
the road.
HTTPS.
Yeah. Or www is still out there.
www.
Yeah, I see that on trucks. Like they have their logo.
Oh, the
and
full-
yeah, and they got the full domain. It's www, and I'm like,
Does anyone ever
nobody-
actually type from a truck to
I know.
into the search? My favorite is when there's like search or anything on like a billboard. Like I'm supposed to be driving.
It was
I can't scan this QR code on this billboard.
Well, see, and it was bad enough back in the day before people had smartphones, and you just put a phone number up there.
Got
As
to
long as-
memorize it.
As long as
You
I've
got to be
been-
Rain Man.
As long as I've been in this business, it's like I get it, but nobody's going to remember that phone number by the time.
I don't
they get
remember my
home.
own phone number. How?
Yeah, right.
Well, I don't understand the reason why, like on some stuff, some merch that's sold, they've got the social media icons. Like I'm not going to pick up, like even if you go to fast food and you get a drink and it's like, here's Facebook, I'm not going to.
I understand McDonald's has a Twitter page.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I don't need that on my cup.
Yeah,
to tell
and I
me.
can't click the cup to go there, so I don't know what's happening or why we still do this. But anyway,
I can see what they're in if you're on somebody's website because you're already on a digital platform.
Right, and you can click on it.
Right,
or-
exactly. It's functional.
I think,
Yeah, like
iPhone-
you said, having it on the bottom of having it be ever present on every aspect of your
Being.
branding, like with a restaurant. It's like
Especially all those people who put Google Plus on it.
oh yeah,
Sucks to be them.
R.I.P. R.I.P.
Had to get everything redesigned.
there's 70 million people in the world that are like, we missed that.
I liked it for a little while.
John's one.
It was just him. He had all
Yeah.
of the profiles.
It was good. It was good for marketing. It really was. It was
Yeah.
good for marketing.
so what? So why? Why? I mean, that's a whole other podcast.
Well, no,
Why did
I
it go
mean,
away?
Oh, I had no
Uh-oh.
idea.
Oh no.
Just wasn't. Didn't hit the mark. I
mean,
guess.
not
don't know.
to completely
Frankly, it's
like
Google.
get in trouble with Google here, but Google does do a lot of things where they put a lot of effort into it and then kind of step away from
Abandon it.
it. Right.
Yeah.
There's been as we do software development, there's been several languages that they've
Mm-hmm.
gotten almost complete. People start writing in it because it's free or it's made by Google. And then they completely abandon it, and basically you're stuck with a
stand there
half.
going,
You're
yeah.
like,
Well, they
oh,
What do
you
I
don't
do
want to
with this
support
now?
this anymore, and I have 8 things in it.
they got that reputation with social in particular because they had 2 or 3 before Google Plus, and it was just kind of this thing like we know it's gonna flop, and you guys are gonna stop paying attention to it. So
We'll
we're
just
not
move on.
even
Like
gonna
Stadia,
adopt it.
Google. I think the latest one was like Google Stadia. I was really excited for it because of all they hyped it up to be, and then
Here we are.
Yeah,
Here we
actually,
are.
That's the gaming.
right. And
They've
I was supposed to get a controller and I never did. So
really well. It's funny because I think Amazon did the same. Amazon just recently did the same thing. They launched their own, but is that still a thing? 'Cause I haven't heard a thing.
I know I get free skins with Prime on some games.
Yeah,
Hell
yeah.
yes.
I've got actually I've got Google swag merch whatever at home. Mm-hmm. I've got a pen. I've got one of those bags because when Google Grow was here, I guess in 2017, when I went to that with a friend and we just got a bunch of the merch that was there and. That was back. I'll tell you, I remember they were pushing fiber.
I was going to say, is that when they were like, we totally are going to bring fiber and not pull it out as soon as we're supposed to start.
Yeah.
And buried about a quarter of an inch under the asphalt.
Yeah, we're going to put it between the cracks, between the seams in the asphalt. We're not even going to bother to dig a hole or a trench. We're just going to stick it, shove it like between the cushions in a couch and just hope it doesn't pop out.
You might actually trip her over it when you cross the street, but that's it.
But it's fast.
Yes, exactly.
Don't look at the wires.
Yeah, it's like really
like what you tell your friends when you get your new TV and new entertainment center and
it's got
wires,
all the wires.
all the wires for all your things. Just don't.
It's like I don't have time for cable management yet.
But
apparently neither did Google.
But at least I can say that the quality of the merch that I got was good.
Right.
And a lot of people don't think about the quality of the stuff. Like, not going to ask you to put our sunglasses there to the test, Savannah, but it's,
but I mean,
you know, I swear to God, if you
we paid a
lens popped out.
It's like the Tesla truck window.
Yeah.
we'll edit it in post.
Will it cut a tomato?
No, nope. I mean, so not to completely talk only about these sunglasses here, but all the ones I've normally seen are black, and then they've got just the logo on the side, and you quickly forget. But with these, it's like actually your brand because it's the orange, and when you look at it, you
we really
remember.
Challenged people. If you want to wear these, you're going to really want to wear them.
You're in or you're out with these.
They would look great if you're in Miami.
Oh.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, I personally think they
very
look great
spring
anyway.
break.
But yeah, very spring breaky. Very spring breaky.
Well, they are trendy. It depends on the
very
personality.
derby. They could be derby.
Derby. I say that was actually the ones I thought of. I got derby glasses that just had the derby logo on them that were black, and I forgot that they were even branded. So I think that would probably, just to get kind of back to the topic here, is branded merch. You should know what the brand is for.
Exactly.
It shouldn't be just something you create and then put off to the side. Like, okay, we made, like you said, pens. We made mugs. That needs to be a little intentional.
Well, it's like you say. It's like calling your vendors. You know, you're a brand. Say, we want to get some glasses with our logo on them. What color you want? I don't care. Just pick something.
Right. Like we made
why
for our team for Christmas, we got they've always wanted crazy socks, and so we got Slingy socks. So they're slingshot colored socks with Slingy's face all over them. And so that was a lot of fun because it was like intentional. They had said that they wanted it. We have Slingy that we get to use and enjoy.
Socks are reliable.
And socks are reliable.
I have a pair of Buffer, the social media management company. They sent them years ago. I still wear them.
Nice.
They're great socks. They're blue.
And every time you put them on, you probably think of Buffer, right?
It's all over the sock. So.
It's hard to forget.
And they're blue.
Sorry. I'm just, you're not posting with your toes on where you're wearing it.
Do what?
Probably hard to do with socks on.
I don't know. It depends. It's like those socks that have like individual toes.
Oh God, the toes.
I hate those. Yeah, I just like. Why can't you just have socks that are just socks? No, don't sell
the worst
ones
are
that,
people. I've seen people wear those with like flip flops, like those toed socks with flip flops.
Well, it's like the shoes with toes.
Shoes with basically, yes.
It creeped Robert out even.
Yeah, I just noticed. I've watched like Mitch just doing this, and I'm like, "Is that a signal?" And I just glanced over, and Robert's just kind of like creeping toward the door, and I'm like, "He doesn't want to hear
Going
that."
for the garbage can.
Yeah, he's just like, "Oh."
But to get again back to branded content,
we need her here on a regular basis to kind of help steer.
This is my job with our podcast, The Founder's Fable, is to push us back into
back in the lane.
I feel myself doing that personally, but like we talked about TikTok, and Pizza Hut did a marketing where you could buy merch, specifically the original Pizza Hut like red cups that they used to have in the store.
Yes.
You could buy them through TikTok, and they had like a pizza necklace, and so obviously when you buy those things, you're not thinking solely about the pizza. It's also about kind of the experience, especially the red cup. It's like remembering when you used to go back, and I think it brings a good point of a lot of this relies, especially like the bigger brands, like you said, Dr. Pepper. We've talked about Google. Coke is another one. It brings back a nostalgia feeling. Nintendo, yeah. Back to what we were talking about.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate the fact that you caught on to the sunglasses and everything, because that took like 2 minutes out of what I was going to say, because you ended up like nailing it.
Oh, good. Hey.
But I'm also shocked, Mitch. You have not talked about Frisch's.
Well, here's the thing.
The tartar sauce?
Just Frisch in general, but yes.
The tartar sauce.
The tartar sauce. But the thing about Frisch's is only known as Frisch's Big Boy in this area.
Really?
It's Big Boy is the brand.
Mm-hmm.
It goes under different names in different parts of the United States. For example, in California, it's Bob's Big Boy.
Ugh.
Didn't know that.
That one hurt me.
It sounds like it might. But yeah. But in other places, it's regional in that respect, but Big Boy is national.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. And actually I didn't either because I asked somebody. I forget how it came up in the conversation.
You ever been to Frisch's?
No. I said, hey, ask me a question. We have something called Frisch's Big Boy here. I know that you guys call it Bob's Big Boy. And they explained it to me. They said, here's why. Frisch's or Big Boy is sort of the brand.
Mm-hmm.
And it's got regional ownerships.
Okay.
So there you go.
Yeah,
Good
but every
to know.
but
But yeah,
every-
So Mr. Frisch's is the owner of ours.
To your point,
yeah.
we were at, this is right as the pandemic hit, my wife and I were at Frisch's. And I like their coffee cup. I like the shape,
The mug.
the size. It's not a big mug. It's more of a standard size coffee cup, but it's a nice shape. The color it's a nice red, and it has kind of that classic diner kind of feel to it.
Mm-hmm.
The waitress said, hold on a minute.
Uh-oh.
She came back with a bag and gave me 2 Frisch's
She said,
coffee mugs.
we're about to go on a pandemic. You're going to need these.
She said, we've got plenty.
The point is though, as talking about brand fandom, I've never heard a man talk about a coffee cup so passionately and endearingly as
Because it's not about it being from Frisch's. It's
That's part of it. I mean, there is that. There is part
Mitch
of
likes
that.
Frisch's.
But
that's not the number one thing, though.
But it's comfortable. There's a utility. It's comfortable, and I like the way it looks.
It's the positive experience around it that makes you
Exactly.
think positively of the brand.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. So not all merch needs to be utilitarian. It just needs to be just something you like.
Or
Orange Andy.
if the utility is part of what makes you gravitate to the brand. Yes, that works.
Mm-hmm.
Utility works. I'm trying to think of another brand.
I was going to say there is, again, kind of the game theory channel that I was talking about also has food theory. And they were talking about
I like that one.
they were talking about food brands, and there was a study done where people drink Pepsi or Coke, and they couldn't tell the difference. But if they were told they were drinking Coke beforehand, because of all the brand like positivity and awareness, the memory receptors like in their brain were going off as they were drinking the Coke, but not the Pepsi. And so it's
It's
think
not the taste, it's the brand.
It's exactly. When they weren't told it was either Coke or Pepsi, nothing was happening. When they were told they were drinking Coke or Pepsi, Coke was making positive like reactions in their brain. And I think part of that is the culture, everything around Coke makes you think positive things because of all of the brand awareness and all of the other reactions around it.
Yeah.
That even though if you had no idea, you wouldn't be able to tell the difference. It's the positive emotions that come out because of all the effort they've put in front with their commercials, their merch.
It's
their
so
events.
ever present,
Right.
in a way that Pepsi isn't.
Yeah.
Well, you kind of feel like Pepsi always was chasing Coke.
Yes.
They almost tried to create this excitement around the brand. And
So not to do a marketing school, but so in school we learn there's A brands, there's B brands, and there's C brands. So Coke would be A brand.
Right.
Pepsi would be B brand, always trying to prove that they're better than A. And then A doesn't even care or mention brand B. And then there's like Cola from Walmart is like brand C.
Right.
yeah,
I was getting ready to say,
They're like, we're here
RC.
too.
yeah.
For those of you on a budget,
yeah, we're here for 79 cents for a 2-liter. Just think about that.
That's it. They just
when I had my
sugary
first
water.
when I had my first apartment, big case sodas were
That's what I was imagining, the like bubble like branding on it. So even though it's a C brand, I still can like visualize it because I have memories.
I'll still
with it.
drink the grape soda.
Yeah.
Big K cream, big K red cream soda is really good too.
It tears
Is
my
that like
stomach
Big
up.
Red?
It's nostalgia.
It's more like cream soda. If
Okay.
you've ever had real cream soda, then
Yes.
it is Big Red.
Because Big
A
Red,
little.
I know we're in Louisville, but I'm from Southern Indiana, and so Big Red is big.
Oh, it was big. It was big here. I mean, I had friends whenever those late weekend excursions to White Castle.
Oh,
Big Red.
That's the reason you
White
went.
Castle.
Always had Big
White
Red.
The
Castle
ice
is.
and the ice and the big red.
Yep.
Yeah, when my brother-in-law comes back from Virginia, he always has to like buy up all the Big Red. And again, that's
Yeah.
Probably, again, full circle. It's probably partially the nostalgia flavor.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because not to dig on Big Red, but Big Red's not that great.
Unless you have White Castles.
Unless
then,
it's
yeah.
like 3 a.m.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. At
But
White Castles.
exactly.
Frisch's White Castle. I'm starting to get really hungry
Yeah,
and maybe
sorry.
wanting to go on a bender.
Ooh. Oh God.
It's
Yeah.
not my
Side note, not back to my
Fooder.
back to my wedding. I was supposed to get White Castle delivered to the reception at the end, and they didn't show up. So this is a call to White Castle. You owe me.
Are you listening?
You owe me my chicken ring
Are you-
sandwiches that was supposed to come to my wedding and then didn't show up.
She's
Best-
disappointed.
Some of the
still.
best onion rings on the planet.
It's
What about the other side of brand fandom, where the brand has gotten so strong and so much fandom that you can't change it? And then when you try to come out with something new, or you try to evolve the brand and adapt to the times in some other way.
New Coke.
Yeah, exactly.
Not
Not
new
to talk about
Coke.
Coca-Cola all
I don't
the
think
time,
anybody
but
here at this table besides me is old enough to remember that. But
I
yeah.
remember learning about it.
Yeah.
If that makes you feel better.
Oh, guess what? We made a Coke flavor that tastes more like Pepsi.
Yeah, nobody cared.
Yeah. I mean, they
that's
didn't
kind of
say
the
that.
risk. There's
they
a
didn't
risk
say
to
that,
it.
but that's kind of how it was. But
And that kind of gets to the point of getting, because obviously when you're like doing merch things and you're doing brand awareness, you're trying to build the strength of your brand.
Right.
right.
And then there's the issue on the complete other end of the brand getting too strong to where there's so many people in it. Like you said, it's so invested that going to change it can be, you're going to get some pushback.
Yep.
Like the first thing that comes to mind is IHOB when they tried to do their burgers.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
there are so many other options, and of course, us looking in, we can say like, oh, you had option A, B, C, and D, but at the time they thought like, oh, let's just change our name for like the little gig or whatever, and everyone got upset. They were like,
They were just trying to promote the idea.
They were-
We've got really good burgers too. So I want to give them points for
try.
trying.
It's points for effort. Is that what you're getting at?
You're getting an
The points
E
don't
for
matter,
effort.
Right. But right. I mean, that's not what you're known for. Maybe try something else
Right.
to promote them.
So you've got the core brand, and you can change things maybe around it, but once you get such a strong brand, and there's a lot of effort that goes into that, it's going to be very difficult for you to change the core of it.
Right.
Like you said, you can innovate and add things on the outside of the brand, but in terms of like that core, it's too strong, I think, to break through it entirely.
Well, it kind of divorces the brand from what people come to expect from it and
Exactly.
desire from it. And it becomes alien to the
Right.
brand. So it creates a distance like, oh, well,
Right. It
wait,
doesn't
you're
feel-
not what I thought you were.
It doesn't feel genuine anymore.
Right.
Because that is, I think, one of the hardest things in marketing is to build genuine branding, build genuine connection with people. And as soon as you try to start taking that away, it's all gone.
Yep.
Yeah, especially if it's current. You know, we talked about trends and fads on another episode. And if you're just trying to take advantage of something that's changing, it may be genuine, but you look opportunistic. And
Right.
because of that, your customers are like,
It becomes a
really
I
know
don't
you.
know
like
if I want to
gimmicks.
buy your NFT.
you're fake.
Yeah. Well, that kind of goes back to what we say about the fandom and the merch and everything. It's like you might as well just abandon all that. Nobody's going to care. I've been very happy with the reactions to just the sunglasses.
I know, they're so
mean,
fun.
When we first did it, I actually ended up getting just some orange sunglasses, and it was just, I thought, well, this would be a really nice gesture to give to the team for, hey, we made it through 2020, everybody. We're
We
still,
survived.
So we went out to a local place, I can't remember where, and I gave them out, and I don't remember who it was. It was either I think it was one of you or maybe Laura. It was like, why don't we just actually put the logo on these and get some?
was me.
It was you? All right.
That's what you get for being the creative officer.
Yeah.
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 Always want to put a logo on something.
But we've been out and people have wanted the glasses, and it's been kind of like very surprising.
Right.
So
Because you can, not to completely like elevate y'all, but you guys put effort
Please
into
do.
this.
Please.
yeah, please do.
Somebody needs to.
Self-promotion on your own podcast. But I mean, it's obvious that you guys put at least some effort into it. And going back to the genuine, you guys didn't just like you said, get sunglasses, I don't care what color they are, put our brand on them,
Yeah.
buy 1,000, and then when we're out, we'll buy more.
Right.
It's it's more like we have this thing that we want to share with people.
There's
and
linkage.
We enjoy.
Well,
Exactly.
there's linkage.
Yes.
It is who we are. I mean, you look at our logo. It's
in there. Yeah.
He's got orange glasses. So it's just, and I think that's, going back to genuineness. The successful brands are genuine, and that's a genuine thing because it's just a natural product of who we are and what we're about, and it's a representation of us.
It's like you just said, Savannah. We're not trying to be like clever,
Right.
not overly so.
Yeah, I mean, it was.
You're not trying to be out of the box solely for the fact of you have to be out of the box.
Right.
Yeah,
You're trying to have fun outside the box.
Right.
Yeah. So that was the heart of it, and the heart of it was, genuine and all that. And I think that's probably why the reaction is the way it is. I think anybody that wants to venture down the path of getting promotional items for their company has to think about these things.
Don't just get pins.
Yeah, because it's not like that was cheap.
Oh, right.
Right.
And you could have done it cheaply.
Yeah.
But to put the effort in, it takes thought, it takes time.
Yeah. I mean, I've been on the end of purchasing cups, and they ain't cheap.
Right.
Not good ones anyway.
I was like, you could probably find like cheap ones and then just put a sticker on it yourself. but-
Yeah.
we
thought about it. Trust me. Looking at the invoice and the billing, and I'm like,
You're like,
can we
what
just
if
get
we
a
just sent everybody a picture
decal?
of a mug?
I'll make a stencil and a spray paint
Yeah.
can.
Who's got a Sharpie in orange number 4? That's just
You're talking about brand merch. I think, and we've brought them up before. If you look at the history of what KFC's been doing in recent years,
I love
you're gonna
KFC's
go
marketing.
to this.
I'm gonna instigate. I love KFC's marketing.
Well, to have a brand that you have that kind of latitude with, and part of that latitude, it's ironic. The latitude you have with promoting them comes from the fact that they just kind of are what they are.
Right.
It's not complicated. You can't really say much else about the chicken that hasn't already been said.
Right.
So it really opened that limit becomes not a limit.
Exactly.
You can do the unexpected, like KFC Crocs,
I know.
KFC Fire Logs.
Yeah.
I have some on right now.
Is that what that was?
Wait, you all didn't wear your matching KFC Crocs too?
Yeah.
And there was a
The video game. I was back to video games. There was
there
was a dating simulator where you could date the Colonel.
I didn't know about that one.
I didn't either.
Oh,
Wow.
It's I think part of the reason that they're going that way and it's successful is because they're doing like everyone else in the industry, and not to put everybody in a bubble, but it's a very similar industry where everybody does something similar. And by doing what KFC is doing, by basically doing whatever they want,
Right.
they stand out in a different way than just, hey, we have good chicken. It's like, hey, we are having fun while we're
Right.
also doing good chicken. Like I visited the KFC headquarters because I almost worked there. Side note. That was before the 2020 apocalypse. But the bearskin rug that was in one of those KFC commercials is in the middle of their marketing floor. It's just there. And so part of the reason I think it's still there is because when they see it, it's still a part of like everything they do.
It's part of the culture.
They always want to be doing creative things. They always want to be going outside the box, and they want to remember that, and they want to keep doing it.
Yeah, that's a reminder every time you walk in. You see that and go like, yeah, we're not just here to.
We're not here to just sell chicken.
We're not just about chicken.
Yeah, that's the thing that stuff like this does. So, well, I want to give you the floor of time. Tell people where they can find you, where they can follow you, all of that stuff.
Well, first, I want to say this has been a blast. I've had a great time. It's a lot more free than our podcast, which is The Founder's Fable, which is also on the Speakeasy Podcast Network. And we talk with startups, founders, and entrepreneurs about their journey and where they started, how they got to where they are, and the moral of their story. Because there's not one way to build startups, and learning from them and seeing what pieces of advice you can take to find your own way.
Yeah, I learned from a guy named Huey. So, yeah.
You like the Steve Huey episode?
I actually met with him years ago in his office when he was head of Capture.
Oh, right, yeah.
And so I had a friend who had an idea, quote unquote. And I put him in front of Huey, and I said, Steve, we just talked, and
There you go.
Steve was just very blunt, like, yeah, that ain't gonna happen.
Well, and that's what you need.
You got to tear that Band-Aid off all at once.
Yeah.
I do. So I loved our Steve Huey episode. I'll be real quick. I had to download, because that's back when I was editing before we were on the Speakeasy Podcast Network. And I had to download a bleep soundtrack because of how many times he cussed. And at the beginning, we were like, hey, like if you cuss like once or twice, it's not that big a deal, but like try to keep it down. And then I had to like cut out like 11 minutes in total. Basically.
Podcast can be really short.
But we have a good time. We learn a lot. And if you want to check it out, that's slingshotVentures.com/podcast. And then we're also on socials. Usually at Hey Slingshot.
All right, there you go.
Awesome.
So we appreciate having you on. We hope to have you back.
Yes.
Yeah,
You've got to come back now, Savannah.
Ooh,
Yeah, absolutely.
A fan favorite
Gotta,
comment if I should come back.
Gotta.
Yeah, absolutely.
Can people? I was gonna say, can we plug the merch? Is there?
Go for it.
We need to get another shipment probably.
Okay.
Before we start talking them.
Don't ask for it until the next episode. Don't comment you want sunglasses until they have more. Okay.
At some point, they will be available to you.
Yeah.
Sometime.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Stay tuned.
There's plans to order when, it gets warmer. Because I feel
Right.
like it's like a summer type thing.
Right.
And all that.
The sun exists, but it's not as cool to wear sunglasses when it's 20 degrees.
Exactly. Yeah, you're walking around outside, it's like, what's wrong with you?
Just go inside.
Yeah. So we appreciate having you on for this episode. Obviously, we appreciate everybody out there listening. You can check us out on social at NerdBrand Agency. You can also find this episode at nerdbrandagency.com/podcast, or you can just, search for NerdBrand on YouTube and then like and subscribe there. We'd really appreciate that a lot.
Woo.
Yep.
And then Mitch, you've
We're
always
YouTubers now.
Yeah, I know. Mitch, you've had an announcement a while back. Mitch would really like for you to leave in the comments ideas, topics, things like that.
Leave some ideas for
Ooh.
things you'd like us to talk about, topics you want us to hear us discuss. We're always looking for new material to throw out there into the universe. So contribute you can be a contributor to us and let us know what you want to hear about, some things we haven't discussed you'd like to hear us talk about, or if there's something we have discussed in the past that maybe we didn't cover it as far as you'd like, let us know.
Or if you didn't like something, just
Do a whole episode where you read hate comments.
Yeah.
We really should.
I would like to one day.
Yeah.
Mean tweets. We'll write them ourselves.
I just think
I was like, I'll make a bunch of bots for y'all of hate comments so you have content.
That would be awesome.
I just think if somebody leaves a topic like, hey, what about y'all talk about this? And then the following reply is that's
No.
John's code for no.
We're not going to do that.
Have an AI write a script for one of our podcasts and we will read it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
I love those.
Anyways.
AI watches 10 episodes of NerdBrand and writes a full episode.
Exactly.
It's more entertaining than me. Anyways, thank you all for listening and tuning in. And remember, keep your nerd brand strong.
Bye.